They were developed how?
Well, they were developed to deal with specific persons, like with Alan Bear, and one dealt with Larry King, and
Okay,
they just dealt with the different.
Explain who Alan Bear is.
Alan Bear is the I guess he's the heir to the J.L. Brandeis and Sons. He also owns a lot of realty and stuff out in all over the country, and he's got some buildings out in San Francisco. Some that got damaged in the earthquake in '89, and I don't know that because I was in the house and he was talking about it at the same time, talking about his buildings that got damaged.
In '89?
Yeah, the earthquake.
You were in the house since '89?
Well, one of the personalities had gone back and had seen him and stuff, and was at his apartment one time. He was talking to one of his.
Before you went to jail?
He had a female attorney. Yeah, it was 3 days before. Wednesday, I got arrested. Actually, Saturday morning at about 2:30. And a couple of days before that, I told him to go F himself, and because he wanted me to get some of my young friends to go to his parties, and I told him no way, to go F himself, and I left.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me I'd be sorry.
That's the last time you saw Alan Bear?
But when I was there at the apartment in Twin Towers, he was talking to one of his. I guess she was an attorney out in. I believe she was out in California, out in San Francisco, where the earthquake hit. And they were talking about a building that had been damaged by the earthquake, and the elevator didn't work, and the people that were complaining and stuff, which would be really neat to check out, because, how would I know you had a building out there, and how would I know that it was damaged by the earthquake if it indeed wasn't?
What kind of a building was it, do you know?
I don't know. It was an apartment.
Apartment? Okay.
It was a building that people lived in, because they were talking about some of the tenants were complaining because they...
Do you remember which personality visited his house?
Yeah, Mikey.
Oh, Mikey did, okay.
And he's under Christian.
Well, no, Mikey isn't under Christian. He's over here.
No, that's Micah.
Micah.
Mikey.
Oh, Mikey.
He's not a controller. He's just a personality,
okay.
So he's in that group there.
Okay, how about Mike and Todd?
Mike and Todd stored a lot of information. I don't remember. And they just stored information about certain people that were involved with specific people. I mean, they dealt with all kinds of different things. Jimmy Escobedo was the one that was involved with Emilio, that he was scared to death to say anything to anybody. Personalities under him and stuff were the ones that remembered specific details about places. Nathan Price was named after, I forgot who the guy was. A guy named Jerry or something like that, Price. He dealt with that. And Eric and Benjamin Howard dealt with the minister that was a gay minister from Colorado. Who was also in charge of a gay church, which...
Well, we're in Colorado.
Near Colorado Springs or something. It was one of the MCC churches they had, Metropolitan Community Churches. And then Sean and Dimitri Bear were dealing with Alan Bear. That was it. Todd's personalities dealt with higher class people. I'm saying that Alan Bear is in higher class, but they dealt with a little bit higher class people.
You're talking about politically affluent, influential people?
Yeah. But I don't know, I mean, like this Gall, I know he was a senator or something, or congressman or something, Gall.
How do you spell it?
G-A-L-L. And a guy named Weiss and a guy named William, which I got Prince William. That's because the guy called me Prince William. Weiss called me Prince. And so he just took the guy's last name and used it too.
Okay, keep going. You want to go to the next group, which would be your satanic group?
Okay, and then you got Paul Jr., who used to be called Demaya. Demaya was a demonic name in the first place, and that's why he decided to change his name when he got saved.
Uh-huh.
And personalized under him were the group that we talked about that had the 36, 6 groups of 6,
right,
which is the satanic
right.
number. Then you got Wesley, who used to be called Confusion. He used to confuse all the information about everything, and he didn't really have personalized under him. He just had confused thoughts under him, I think. Then there's life, who used to be called death. He's life now because he was one that went from the mode where I'm going to kill myself all the time to, hey, it ain't so bad. I can handle this. I've been through worse. So he kind of went from death to life. And then there's Kelly, who dealt with being locked up all the time, and he just kind of disappeared the last 4 months of being in prison. Actually, the last year he disappeared. He wasn't even around after I went to the parole board and they yanked my parole. No need for him.
So we pretty well dealt with this other group, I think, in detail,
Yeah.
didn't we? The Dustin group.
No,
Okay, get your chart out there that you had that shows that everybody you've been involved with and the dates and the towns and so forth.
Okay.
That's yours.
Yeah.
That's yours, this is mine.
Okay. Is that the same thing as this here?
Yeah, it's the same thing. You said this is...
That's right.
Split. Well, that's America's Most Wanted. I'm going to go over that in a little while. I want to go through this next section.
Okay, let's see.
You mentioned Larry King on just a minute ago. You want to explain to who Larry King is here?
Larry King used to be in charge of the Franklin Credit Union, I believe. I think that's what it was called. He was the thief. I mean, I don't know what he was, eh?
Well, he was charged with embezzlement and fraud, I think.
Stole $38 million and gets 15 years.
Yeah, and
poor old Jim Baker stole $4 million and gets 45 years, which they reduced it all the way down to 12 now or something.
I think, yeah.
Pretty good. Well,
okay, these are charts and records that you kept. Now, let me ask this. How can I be sure that these are documented dates and times and so forth? Did you have a calendar or a diary or what?
I had one diary that I had 7 diaries. All 6 of them disappeared. The 7th one, a couple of months were ripped out of it. I mean, it had names. The one that had 2 months ripped out of it had names, phone numbers, addresses of all these guys and stuff in it. Because they had a front part in the thing in it.
How'd you reconstruct it?
I used my mind. Part of this was pretty simple because I remembered when stuff happened, so I just went off of the memories. I had a little calendar for something, but I don't know what's that.
You showed me a calendar, year by year calendar, not too long ago.
Yeah, the year by year calendar is something that I created since I've been out too.
Oh, since you've been out, you didn't have that at the time.
No, that's from the internal memories and stuff. But there is something in there that was off of a regular calendar that most people would probably look like junk, but it went off of a real calendar that I've got downstairs. I know exactly where it's at if I don't find it in here. But yeah, here we go. See if I can find the back side of it. That's definitely not the back side, but it'll do. What I'll have to do, I got the other side of it because I had stuff written on the other side of the chart, the calendar, but this is one of the things I kept. I had to refocus it because I missed some of it on that side, but it's a little calendar that's about actually like this big, and I just blew it up. Enlarged it so that you could see everything that's written on it. The other side had some writing on it, stuff about Monarch and stuff, but that's not the other side, that's just...
Who stole your diary?
When I got arrested, my mother remembers that my diaries were all sitting on my dresser.
Okay.
She had seen them, all the books and stuff I had on my dresser. And when the police arrested me the night I got arrested, they all disappeared. And they took a bunch of stuff. They took a bunch of stuff. They took some videotapes, which they had fun watching John Dix, the Power Team. And
what was on the videotapes?
Just ministers and stuff like that.
Sex acts?
No.
Do you have any porno films there?
I didn't have any pornography at all. I'd never gotten into pornography, and I never...
These other people were into pornography, though. You told me before.
Well, yeah, they were into it, but I didn't get into it.
Okay, so the police have your diaries?
Well, I probably burned them by now. But...
Well, did you ask for them back?
They said they didn't have them. They gave one diary back, and that's when they were 2 months out of it. And that's because that diary my grandmother gave to them, so they knew that somebody in our family knew that they had them. The other ones, when I got arrested, the night I got arrested, they took the videotapes, they took pictures, like what you've seen already. That's the picture they took. You know, some of them were like from 1980 when I was 13 years old. Some of them were before that.
Which pictures now?
All of my photographs that.
Oh, there's pictures. Yeah, okay.
But all those photographs.
Of your friends. Photographs of your friends.
Photographs of my friends when I was growing up and stuff.
They took those?
They took all of them. They took the videotapes, which didn't have anything on them, anything bad stuff. They took the diaries, which they never said they took them. They took a antique movie camera that didn't even work, as far as I know, because we just got it the day before that, so nobody knew if it worked or not. An antique projector, an antique screen, and all this stuff nobody knows if it worked or not because it never got a chance to be messed with. And they took an old, it was like an old little tiny package like that didn't have film in it. They asked me what they were going to find in the film. I said, well, probably nothing. There's nuts and bolts in the casing because I took the film out. I figured it's been sitting there for over 20 years. The film ain't no good. You know, because especially if it's been exposed to light several times. And
right.
So they took all that. They gave all of it back except for the diaries.
Let her get it. She got it.
Okay, good.
And then did you say they denied that they ever had a diary?
They denied they ever had the diaries. The only one they gave back was the one my grandmother gave to them. That's because they knew it.
What did you have in the diaries?
I had written down. There it goes. It's on.
So,
yeah.
Okay, we're back. Handled my phone call. Nothing serious. It's a flood in Los Angeles. And this is a list that you compiled from your various records in your diary, and from memory that were in your records and diary. And the police took your diary, never returned it, claim they don't have it.
Yes, all 6 of them.
On this list, this is the what? What's that first column?
That's the number of times that I was with that person sexually or whatever.
The number of times that he's with each of these people sexually.
Some of them I didn't write because it's...
So many times.
Yeah, just two.
I can tell. Because I recognize his first names. Second column, the name of the individual. Third column is the year. The fourth column is the town. And fifth column is identifying the group that each of them was involved with. So why don't you just go right down the list?
Okay.
Just start right over here. Just go right across and say which one of those people is.
Okay. Walter Carlson was one of the first guys who sexually abused me.
How old were you?
I was, probably about 8, 9.
Okay, and who is he?
All I know is he was the first guy who started sexually abusing me.
Okay.
He got me involved with some other guys. That went on from about 76 till 1983. He was from Omaha. He was involved with his own. Second guy is on the list is Peter Citron.
You don't have any numbers there. Why? Because these
Well, those are because there were so many times that I don't...
Okay.
I can't put it down.
Peter Citron.
Peter Citron, I met him in 1979. I was at a Penny Park with some of my friends, and actually I was with my family and stuff, and he was with some of my friends who introduced me to him, and later on we went to some movies, and then he began having sexual activity with me.
How old were you?
I was probably 12, right.
He's an adult, of course.
Yeah.
He was with the Omaha World Herald?
Yeah, he was with them. He was on TV as a critic. He did food critics. He did movie critics. He did just about everything.
Okay.
There wasn't a critic. And I knew him from Omaha, and then he went to San Francisco for about 3 years, from about 81 till about 84. And I used to take trips out there once in a while. I met him on my own. I also seen him at parties with Alan Bear. Now the third person is a guy named Father Stan, or O'Malley. I don't know what his name is for sure. All I know is it's something like Malley or O'Malley. And he's from Omaha, and I met him in 1976 before I met before I met Walter Carlson, and it kind of went on once in a while.
How old were you?
I was 8.
And what are those asterisks next to those 3 names for?
That they were some of the main ones.
Okay.
I don't really know what the asterisk is. I forgot.
You don't have any numbers as to the number of times there, so there were so many
Yeah.
that in that column, so there were so many you couldn't count them. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. The next person is Alan Bear, and I met him in 1979. It was August 4th or 5th because it was the first weekend right after my birthday, because my birthday's on August 3rd, and it was right after that. and I would have been turning 12 years old that year, so it was right